We all know the American economy is full of business successes, but not all companies make it. Some of them fail and disappear from the marketplace. We're going to look at 5 that are no longer around and find out what happened to them. Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to another amazing video. So, are you ready to take a trip down memory lane? From iconic names to The Who, Variety, you'll get to learn how these companies went from a booming success to a distant memory. So grab your popcorn and get ready for some serious business history, because we're about to find out who made it, who didn't, and why. Let's get started. Number 5. Borders. Borders was once a top player in the book retailing world. It was the go-to place for readers looking for their next great read. Borders was a behemoth and seemed unstoppable. But during the 2000s, a lot of technological advancements and changes came in that Borders was not prepared for. While other companies embraced digital platforms and the rise of ebooks, Borders instead focused on growing its CD and DVD department, a move that ultimately cost them dearly. Rather than developing strong digital and online plans, Borders kept building new physical stores. At one point, they even outsourced their online sales to Amazon, a move that now seems like a huge blunder. Without a plan to keep up with the changing times, Borders was doomed to fail. By September 2011, all of its stores were closed. Number 4. Tower Records. When Tower Records opened its doors in 1960, it was the start of something special. Russell Solomon, the founder of the Mega Music Store, had the vision to bring the music of the world to the people. The store was a place where music lovers could come and find their favorite albums and discover new sounds. The clerks were always very knowledgeable and could answer any question you had about a particular album or artist. It was easy to find exactly what you were looking for, and the selection was unmatched. Tower Records saw a lot of success in its early years, and it expanded to locations across the country and around the world. Unfortunately, the company took on too much debt in its expansions and was unable to keep up with the changing landscape of music. The rise of digital music and download sites like iTunes delivered a fatal blow to the company, and it filed for bankruptcy in 2006. Number 3. Pan American. When it comes to air travel, there is perhaps no company more synonymous with the golden age of flying than Pan American World Airways. Founded in 1927, the airline offered a level of luxury, innovation, and service that revolutionized the industry. From its pioneering transatlantic and transpacific flights to its cutting-edge computerized global reservation system, the company quickly became the gold standard in air travel. For decades, Pan American dominated the international airline industry. But in the late 1980s, the airline's fortunes began to turn. The recession of the late 1980s hit the airline hard. And then in 1988, the tragic bombing of Flight 103 over Lockerbie in Scotland further damaged the airline's reputation. Pan American attempted to downsize and sell off some of its routes to save the company. But in the end, the efforts weren't enough. In 1991, Delta pulled out of a proposed financing plan, and the company was forced to shut down for good. Number 2. Oldsmobile. Oldsmobile was the granddaddy of American car brands, having been around since the days of the horse and buggy. It was the first to market a mass-produced car and was the first to introduce a fully automatic transmission. During its heyday, Oldsmobile was a powerhouse, selling more than millions of cars a year. Its flagship car, the Cutlass, was a favorite of middle-class Americans and became the best-selling car in America in the 1980s. But by the 1990s, Oldsmobile sales had begun to decline. GM tried to turn things around with the launch of the Intrigue in 1998, but the car didn't sell well, and the brand's reputation had already been tarnished. GM finally pulled the plug in 2000, and the last Oldsmobile rolled off the assembly line in 2004. Oldsmobile was around for 106 years when its business declined, and while it's no longer on the roads, its legacy still lives on. Number 1. Howard Johnson's Restaurants. Howard Johnson's restaurants were the ultimate pit stop for families on road trips in the 20th century. Who can forget the iconic orange roof, the consistent menu, and the reasonable prices? It all started with founder Howard Deering Johnson and his ice cream stand outside of Boston in 1925. By the 1970s, Howard Johnson's was a full-fledged empire, with over 1,000 restaurant locations and 500 motor lodges across the country. People loved the combination of fast food, lodging, and of course, the signature ice cream. Who could resist a scoop of their famous vanilla, chocolate, or orange sherbet on a hot summer day? Unfortunately, the chain was sold to Marriott in the 1980s and the restaurants were closed. But the legacy of Howard Johnson lived on. But despite this seeming end to Howard Johnson's era, the last franchise restaurant remained open until 2017. We just looked back at the top 5 American companies that don't exist anymore. It's amazing to see how quickly the business landscape can change and how quickly some of the biggest brands can wash away. If you enjoyed watching today's video, give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more such interesting videos. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay awesome.